This is how you use walkie-talkies. In this example I will be using binatone MR200 model 0503. To turn it off you press and hold the power button, and to turn it on you do the same. And it's logged on to channel 3. To unlock and lock the walkie-talkie, press and hold the enter key on the MR200s and other MR walkie-talkies, I think. Then on the Action 1100 and Terrain 750s and other walkie-talkies except the binatone latitudes, you press and hold the menu button. Right, on the Action 850s you get a separate lock button. To lock it you press and hold the enter key again. And monitor button, you can still use monitor, call and PTT and enter key, but not the menu button as you can tell, or change volume. To change the volume you unlock it if it's locked and just press the up and down arrows here. That's full. That's minimum. That's down to the minimum level, right? Right, then lock it, right? And turn the other one on. Oh, they're both on, so I don't need to. These are IPX2, which I think is splash proof. I know this is splash proof because it says it in the manual, so yeah. It says in the manual if you're going to use it, though it might get very wet, to put it into a plastic bag, and apparently you can still use it through it. And that's your binatone logos. Here's the famous one what you get on the Action 850. And yeah, it's logged onto channel 3. If you want water sports, either get the Motorola TLK-RT90 because it's IPX67, which is submersible, which you can submerge in water up to 1 meter, and it floats face up and it flashes the LED light, so it can be found easily. And the belt clip doubles up as a whistle, as an emergency whistle, and it's got an emergency button which sends out an emergency tone like you get on the Motorola Tetra MT850s, is what police use, alright, but I don't have them in my possession because they cost £70, which I think is a bit too expensive for walkie-talkies. These are very old. I originally paid £14. It was originally £18, which I thought was a bit too expensive, so I made an offer of £9. The seller made a counter offer of £14, so I ended up paying £14 plus free postage. Which, as you can tell, it's got no wedge beep, so you will have to say over at the end of transmissions, and like for example 19194 copy over. Right, to check if anyone's receiving you, or you want to check if there's people on the other end, there's 3 ways you can do it. First one, radio check, over. Or breaker, this is Juliet Alpha Mike Indigo Echo 13, is there anybody out there, over. That's my caller ID. Like what you get, you'll have your own, and so you would use your own, but that's mostly used for walkie-talkie for CBs, but I tend to use it for PMR, because you can, or 1919 for copy, or radio check, or breaker, right? And if you want to end a transmission or going off air for a while, or going off air, you say over and out, like, and then off air for 2 minutes, over and out. Alright? Right? If your walkie-talkie has a Roger beep, it's still good to say over, so the other person knows that you've finished transmitting, so it can be their turn to transmit. Alright? Right? If you want to get the other person's attention, you can press the call button. Alright? And wait till you hear go ahead, over. That means they have received you, and they are waiting for your transmission of what you want them to tell you. Alright? Right? I'm recording this in 240p standard definition, not 720, because of the light in here, so it won't upload to YouTube in HD, so I thought might as well have it in standard def. You can still see just about. Right? Your basic functions to scan a channel. I need to unlock it first. Press and hold the enter key. Unlock. Press menu button twice. It will be different on other binatones. And press the up button to scan up. Press the down arrow to pause, and press it again to scan down. Alright? Just stop scanning, press the PTT and return to the menu. And if it was scanning on, if it got to the channel 7 and you press PTT, it will log on to channel 7. To change the channel, you press menu, choose your channel, then press the enter key. You can either press the PTT, but it will be easier to press the enter key to save moving your position and of holding the radio. Right, that acts as your volume, so full, and it goes all the way down, which is pretty nice. That tone means it's on max, that's low or high volume. Alright, you've got Vox on here, so you press menu, dual watch, that watches 2 channels. Now you get Vox, like all the way up, like this, right? Like this, that's Vox. To confirm, you press menu, and you can speak without having to press the PTT button. That's clever about Vox, because it's hands-free, so you don't have to bother press the PTT. On the MR200s, it says talk, alright? But it's still known as the PTT, it's widely known as the PTT. This two-way radios use the PMR 446 frequencies, which is the UK and some parts of Europe licence-free bands. Alright, the transmit power is very low and is restricted to 0.5 watts. If you alter that or modify that to above 0.5 watt, it won't be legal to use on PMR. Those cheap binatone, Bofans, BF888 tests, they transmit over 0.5 watt and has a removable antenna. If you want PMR, you can't have a removable antenna, you have to have a fixed antenna, and it has to be 0.5 transmit wattage. Anything above that, or a removable antenna, it won't be legal to use on PMR, and you can actually get them done for transmitting on higher wattage and having a removable antenna. So I would recommend you get PMR, radios. You can get some cheap ones, some really expensive ones. Depending on what your budget is, you can just get some cheap ones which just take AAA batteries, non-rechargeable. And if you want to pay a bit more money, you can get rechargeable ones. But I would recommend you get rechargeable because it would save the hassle of changing batteries every so often. Then because rechargeable, when the batteries get low, you can just recharge them. They're usually nickel metal hydride, and it will show the busy symbol when transmitting on the receiving end of the walkie-talkie of the MR200. Sorry for the light is a bit low because I'm using natural light, which can be a bit dull sometimes, so I might turn on the lamp for a bit better light. See if that works. Over. Alright. As you can tell, you can see just a bit more better. It says busy when transmitting. Whenever it says RX or busy, do not press the PTT, because doing so will actually cut off the other user from speaking, and you won't be able to hear the other user what they're saying. So like this, I'll do an example. Oops, I've just dropped it. Alright. If I press the PTT on the receiving end, sorry, I'm just going to have to get into a position. Just a minute. If I press the PTT, you can tell it just cuts off conversations. Alright, so it's best not to press the PTT button when someone's speaking. I would just try and put the camera into an stood up position. Alright, that's fine. So, as you can tell, I'm about to press the PTT on the receiving end. And as you can tell, I've pressed the PTT on the other user. Still talking, sorry, that's just the tablet just dropping, but hey. But as you can tell, it cuts off the other user from speaking, so that's why you must not press the PTT when someone else is transmitting. As you can tell, it's back to normal. I like having Vox because it has its one advantage is you have control on what sensitivity you want, and you don't have to bother press the PTT. You can hold it in any way, and yeah. To start activate, because it's on a sensitive setting, it transmits every so often. If you want to activate the Vox, you will have to say like this. Then start speaking once you said because it will. If you don't and start speaking, it will miss off part of the conversation once you said and you know it's gonna, and you know it started transmitting, and then speak, because then the other user will be able to hear you, then hear your full conversation, and that's why, if you want to, that's why people say, pressing of the PTT, wait 1 second before you speak. You can continue pressing until you finish speaking, because otherwise, if you depress the PTT and speak straight away, it will miss off part of your conversation, and the other user would hear complete gobbledygook, and it won't make sense. That's why you must press and hold the PTT. Wait about 1 second before you speak, 1 second before you speak, and let go once you finish talking. But you must remember that if you let go before before you finish speaking and you're still speaking, and it will cut off at the other end and it won't make sense to the other user receiving you. Alright? I'm using Vox because it's better, so then I don't have to press the PTT all the time. So I can just hold it and just speak into the microphone. It's logged on to channel 3 and yeah, channel 3, it's alright. I'm using alkaline batteries. So yeah, so it's fine. Alkaline batteries, yeah. With alkaline batteries, you can actually get better life than if you use some zinc batteries. Apparently in the manual, you get typically 30 hours of use before you have to change your batteries, which is good. And so that should last about a day, depending on how much you use it, alright? And if you use zinc, it will be greatly reduced. With alkaline, you get longer life, and it says in the manual typically 30 hours life, depending on what batteries you use. It could be increased, like with super alkaline or ultra alkaline. They just put that as an estimated battery life hours. If they say put alkaline batteries in, but if you're on a budget and you want cheap batteries, you can go for zinc, but they might not last as long, like with Kodaks. I buy Kodaks, they last just as long as I need. They just last a morning or an afternoon, and they die at about midday. I've had when I was hiking, which is fine because half the day's fine, then dying just a few hours in, which is what you want. And I would change them, and then it would last past like the full afternoon without having to change the batteries. I only need to change the batteries at about lunchtime, if I need to. That's fine, because that's why I recommend Kodaks. But if you want to last a full day, I would recommend you get Panasonic zinc carbon. Even though it says zinc chloride on the batteries, it's zinc chloride, same thing. Zinc chloride is slightly higher capacity than zinc carbon, but the Panasonic zinc lasts just as long, just about the length of time of alkalines, and they're better well made and they last better. And you can get them for £1 in B&M in a 10-pack, so you could buy 20 for £2, 30 for 3, and it adds up. So yeah, it is really good walkie-talkies. The MR200, the speaker is good. A bit bassy, but you can just work out what the other user is saying. And yeah, I prefer Vox. You can change the sensitivity. I just do that over. To change the sensitivity, right, you have to wait till it stops transmitting before you press the menu key. Should watch Vox. Turn it down, right, press PTT, then if you turn it down so it's not so sensitive, it will take a little while longer for it to activate. Vox is great if you don't want to pay expensive money and buy a baby monitor. You can just have a walkie-talkie, just by the baby's bed, so yeah. So you can hear what is being said and transmitted. It's on a sensitive setting. It can be used as a baby monitor if you don't want to pay extra money. You can just buy a cheap walkie-talkie with Vox, because it's basically hands-free transmission. So if you want walkie-talkies to act as a baby monitor, get them with Vox. VMR200 will be fine, and because Vox is actually really good because Vox is hands-free, so you don't have to depress the PTT. You can hear if the baby's crying, you can monitor the breathing if it's on a sensitive setting, and so you would know if they stop breathing and all that. That's why Vox has its upsides. The only downsides is when it's transmitting you can't press the menu button, and the other downside, if it's on really sensitive, any slight noise would activate it. That's why you have to have it balanced. It's like if you want it really sensitive, it would activate if the baby falls out of bed, for example, or falls on the floor after climbing out of their cot. Yeah, right. These are cheap walkie-talkies. These are low end, but they do the job. I use walkie-talkies in supermarkets because some supermarkets, if you go into a certain thing in shop, you don't get phone service. So these have a really good. These have their ups and downs. The downside is you're limited in range and transmit power. These are 3 kilometers, right? Like with your standard rubber ducky antenna. And this is really good walkie-talkies. I'm gonna end the video as it's been going on for 21 minutes and 39 seconds. Over and out.